Another good thing you can do with Keyword Insights by using the keyword clustering module is grouping loads of keywords together that have zero or very little volume. Why that's handy is because whilst your competitors are going after keywords that have a lot of volume, they're often ignoring that the sum of the volume over loads of keywords can actually be a lot more. Or even worse, they're ignoring content opportunities altogether because they just think, oh, there's no volume, so I'll ignore this. So we use keyword clustering to find groups of keywords that once grouped together actually make sense to write about. And it's perfect because often your competitors aren't writing about this, which makes it really easy for you to start producing the content and ranking and getting traffic very quickly. I'm going to go through a case study that we did this for. They are a skincare brand and they came to us with a challenge. Being a new website, how can they start ranking and competing for something that is incredibly competitive without having done any link building, without having any authority? And we came up with a way to do this using keyword clustering. So let me show you what we did and how it worked out for them. So the case study I want to focus on was a brand we work with called Symphonic MD. Now they are a skincare brand and they make moisturizer and other sort of exfoliation creams. And with a brand new website and a brand new domain, it was going to be incredibly difficult for them to compete in the niche of skincare. I mean, you're up against Nivea and E45 and all those cream giants that they just have so much authority and have been around for so long. It's very difficult for a skincare brand to insert themselves into the conversation and get any visibility. And so the challenge was, how can we, a new site with no authority, enter such a competitive niche? Well, everyone has access to the same keyword research tools as you do. Everyone uses Ahrefs and everyone uses SEMrush and everyone uses all of those keyword tools, all of which have the same keywords in and all of which people know how to use the same filters. So we were like, okay, let's turn to another source of inspiration. Let's look at Reddit. The reason I chose Reddit is because you've got to put yourself in the mind of someone who turns to Reddit to ask a question. Normally, they're asking the question on Reddit because they can't find the answer to their question anywhere else online. That's why they've gone to Reddit to ask that question, because there's just no really good guys talking about it. The other great thing about Reddit is it's nearly a subreddit for pretty much any niche I've ever actually had to think about. For skincare, it was really easy. I mean, we had beauty, we had Oz skincare, we had skincare addiction, we had loads of skincare subreddits. So our thinking is going to be, let's pull all the questions from these subreddits and start to see if there's content ideas here that we should focus on. And we did. We created a scraping tool, which we actually can give you free access to, which went through all the different subreddits we uploaded and pulled all of the questions. We then clustered those questions and went to another keyword research tool to pull the volumes. And you can see here, each one of these keyword clusters has, I mean, this one had about 50 keywords in, but each keyword cluster has 10, 50, 20, sometimes 100 keywords in, all which are technically zero volume according to keyword research tools. But the fact that we've grouped all of these together using a clustering tool means that I would argue they're technically not zero volume. It's just the same question being asked 100 different times in different ways, in different formats. And it's not until you see the collective of all of them that you actually go, okay, maybe this one here has zero volume, but it's in the same cluster as all these other ones to do with skin on red face burning, skin on red face and flaky, skin on face peeling and red dots on face. Why is skin on... Okay, all those keywords have zero volume, but the collective amount of them means that this same question is just being asked 100 different times, and that's why keyword research tools don't have it. So on the screen here, you just see 4 of these ideas, but we had thousands of these amazing ideas that were zero competition that we could go and start writing. And we did. Now, actually, this screenshot is, depending on when you're watching this video, this screenshot's already really old. This has already doubled, but this domain has basically no authority, and in the very competitive niche of skincare, we're already doing, it's actually probably about 10 to 20,000 a month now. Depending on when you watch this video, it's hopefully even more. So the strategy worked really well, focusing on grouping all these zero or lower volume keywords together and finding content ideas. As I said, we actually do have a free tool that makes this super easy. It's called Reddit Insights. You can just visit there, plug in a load of subreddits, and we'll go and scrape it for you. There is a QR code if you just wanted to scan this on your phone. In the first instance, another easy place to do this isn't necessarily Reddit. It's actually your own Search Console queries. And this screenshot is just a load of very low volume content ideas that the sum of when they're all grouped together add up to a lot. So to give you some background behind this, when I used to try and find content ideas using my own Search Console, I would go into the Search Console and look for queries that had very high impressions but no clicks. Basically, the fact that it had no clicks was probably telling me that I didn't have a relevant enough page, but the fact it had a high impressions means that a lot of people were searching for it. What that meant was that whenever I came across a keyword that had 10 impressions or 5 impressions or 20 impressions, I ignored it because I was like, why am I bother going to create content if it's only got 10 impressions? It wasn't until I could actually pull all the keywords from Search Console and group them together that, oh, actually, maybe, and you can't quite see it in here, but maybe this keyword here, which probably on its own only had 50 impressions, the sum of all the other keywords in that cluster gave it nearly 2,000 impressions. So individually, that keyword's probably being ignored by everyone, but as a cluster of similar keywords, there's a lot of volume here. Again, the great thing about using Keyword Insights, and if you've watched our Keyword Discovery video, you'll see it. Within our Keyword Discovery, we have a Search Console API, so you can also very easily pull all those keywords from your Search Console and then cluster them all in one platform. Another big bonus of using our API is we don't just pull 1,000 queries. So if you were just to use your Search Console UI, if you were just to go into searchconsole.com, or well, whatever Search Console is, if you just to do that and visit your Search Console link here and export your queries, you can only get 1,000 of them. And obviously when you're wanting to cluster loads of queries that have low impressions, then 1,000 might not be enough. So by using the API within our tool, we'll pull all the keywords that you ever had. So we could pull 50, 100, 200,000 Search Console queries that when you cluster them, you start to find these amazing content ideas you never knew you had.